Hello everybody, and welcome to Day Job. I am your host, Code Marvelous, and today we're gonna play some Netrunner. That's what we're gonna do. We're playing a deck off of the front of Netrunner DB. I have not played it before. This is literally the first game, so I don't think that this is a good opener. So we're gonna mulligan it. This is a little better. Okay, so that's a slot machine, and basically the entire rest of the hand is agendas. So I think we are just gonna go. Of course, we hit the hedge fund. Fire again. Going again. Because we can just win in one turn here. Okay, let's go in again and see if we can one turn win. Because we have a 50-50 chance of just ending the game right now. And we did it all with 0 cards installed. I think this is pretty good. Especially with the Beth in the opening hand. Hope everybody had a nice weekend. Let's draw once. There, the smarter play would have been to put the Astrolabe down, so we had more draw coming in. Let's draw. Let's draw again. Let's draw again. Let's put that down. And let's get the Rozeki down. So let's draw. Let's draw again. Let's put that down. So now we're just going to slowly start dripping away and setting up for our Stargate. I'd like to have a mad dash down, though, before we try to go for the Stargate play, right? Atlas? Before anything weird happens, let's get Angolo out. Alright. So, it's a deck that utilizes reversed accounts, so we're probably getting thrown into tag hell here. I have to remember to think of this deck like it's a combo deck, right? Actually, hang on. Let's just go into R&D the normal way so we can use that money for misdirection. And then we'll use the misdirection bucks. We still need to find Leprechaun. Get that down. And we need to get more of our Rizekis down. So now we've got the Mad Dash. So they're going to reset our money here, but it's not a huge deal.
A new follower.
Hey, Jessica, thank you for the follow. Alright, we need to get Leprechaun on the dang table. These pad taps, they served us very well. So I'm going to scavenge this guy onto there. And then I'm going to go get a Rizeki and rejig that. Let's hit R&D. Let's use this to get a Rizeki out. Hit a fucking snare. Let's draw. Let's draw. Let's draw. Hey DJ. Hey Bushi. So obviously we're gonna lose the Leprechaun, which is honestly fine. We've only used one other clone ship. Alright, here's where the real magic happens. I guess we gotta just hope we ride out one turn, because if we try to go for the 2, we're probably gonna end up getting killed. Since we don't have the mad dash, we can't close. They're mathing out whether or not they can kill me. So let's see if we can end it. And that's probably going to do it. We just had too many bumps in the road along the way. There's so much outfit. Hey, Dan. Oh, that wasn't an agenda. Cool. Let's go take a look. I think that's a snare over there. Oh, it's a Rashida, but it's okay. It'll draw us past the stuff we've already seen. So, we have 2 mad dashes in this deck. I don't think we can win this. I think we lose here, but we'll make a token showing of it. Oh, we can't even, yeah, we can't even do that. Concede. Yeah, we just got knocked on the back foot right from the very beginning, and we had no time to set up. We're 1-1. None of my runners feel super great right now. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to play this weekend, and it's just, I'm getting kind of frustrated because I'm having a really hard time finding anything that really fits my playstyle, that is fun. Keep this. Let's get some of our drip down. We didn't get Stargate down until super early. And that's, of course, always going to be a bit of a problem. I've also got to make sure to get the Rozekis going earlier, since that's like the lifeblood of our deck. Yeah, this is a pretty good open. Just gonna be like a billion of these decks. Somebody must have won something somewhere. Like, it's really amazing to see how the meta on JNet changes when somebody... I mean, I know I'm doing literally the exact same thing right now, but somebody wins with a tournament and just like something... a major tournament with something, and just like overnight, that's all you see anyone play. It's unreal. So I guess probably what I'm going to end up playing against today will just be all, like, outfit decks. Oh. Sure. Yep, so we're going to lose the Leprechaun. Now we're just going to lose to Hostile, and that was their turn 6. So I guess we're just going to be going into good Gameville. Let's go check this. It's probably a snare. Okay, we'll get rid of that. And there it is. Alright, so let's switch back over to Criminal. I think one of the biggest issues with Shaper right now is if you can set up a lock, then you have the game like completely in the palm of your hands. but you have too many turns where you don't impact the corp at all, and anybody who's rushing can just run away with the game in that period of time. So, like, a lot of the Wu decks are meant to, like, counter the Gagarin by having, like, this big drip, the Parisia, the Stim Hacks, you know, the Astrolabes, and, like, that's all well and good, but, like, what if your meta isn't everybody on Gagarin? What if there are people playing Ice and Rush? You don't have a game because your rig is too expensive to set up quickly. So if people do what I've been doing, which is playing Pilana and just jamming agendas behind good ice that's hard to break early for Shapers and Anarchs, you just rip people apart. Like, this deck here in this current iteration is at an 81% because just people aren't fast enough to deal with it. This seems okay, especially with the no one home in the opener. Like, I don't know. Everybody is telling me that the Wu decks are the decks to play, but I consider myself a Shaper player, and people seem very prepared for them. Like, people know what the deal is. They know to mulligan for a hand with an agenda and just try to go as fast as possible. So let's draw. Let's put that down. Sturdy Laundry R&D. And then let's put the no one home down. I don't know. I don't know what other people's experiences are. Like, I'm seriously asking how people are doing with Runner, because Runner is the thing that I've been trying to practice on stream a lot lately, and I'm just not having a very good time. Like, I'm really working hard to get to, like, even remotely close to, like, 50% win rates. Interesting. Probably not going to need the first Miss Bones in this matchup as much as we're going to need the other cards. Just try refreshing the page. So what kind of ice does Asmara usually run that's hard and the run? There's usually like a Surveyor, some IP blocks, right? A couple Archangels, maybe a single toll booth. Maybe, I guess the big one that might be protecting this is like Raven, right? And trying to stick us with the tag with like the IP block behind it. We need more breakers is the issue. Now we can start poking around at centrals and forcing some reses. So Amakua, we're going to want to draw that, but I don't know if we can use it yet. See if I can get Russell in here. Alright, let's see if that's an agenda. It is. So let's put this down and then stim hack in. We're probably going to die to punitive. And then let's just hit R&D and see if we can win. Are we dead? Most likely. They didn't res a single thing, so we gotta be dead. Oh, we aren't. Remarkable. So they have to... The nice thing about No One Home here is they have to beat us on the trace, and then they have to beat us on the trace. So they have to beat us on the trace twice to land the tags. Which is fine. If they want to spend like 24 credits to land a hard-hitting news, they're welcome to it, right? Hang on one second. So here we are, born to be kings. Yeah, now we just gotta play careful. We gotta find turning wheel, and then I think we're in good shape. Alright. So let's draw. Let's draw again. Let's put down a pad tap and get some bucks and get some cards. Citadel's gonna be okay-ish. What, DJ? Alright, so let's run the remote. This would be a lot better if we had managed to find Rizeki. Oh, Queen's great. Queen's my favorite band by a wide margin. It's Princes of the Universe. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to use this. We're going to draw 2. Gain 3. We're going to run here, see what gets rezzed. Sure. We're having a time. Interesting, interesting. We still haven't found a turning wheel, which is somewhat surprising. Alright, well let's go check that archives there. Let's get a credit, and then let's doof. So let's fully break wrap. So they're coming in hard with the anti-AI tech. So we're going to lose an additional 2 here. So we essentially spent 4 getting in. That wraparound looks so good for mining turning wheels. Alright, let's draw. I actually think we want the sure gamble more. Let's run archives. Since they're pitching all these cards. Some ice getting pitched. I like to see that. Let's take an exploratory romp here. See what we find. Can't let that keep ticking. All right. Let's check archives. Let's ditch that tag. We really need our turning wheel so that we can effectively close this game out. There has to be another 5-3 in that hand, right? Gotta keep them in hell. Somebody is talking to me. Alright, let's start poking around. Let's see what gets rezzed here. So 2 credits. Two credits. All-seeing eye. Okay, so we need to be... We need to be on the lookout. Are you gonna get C-sourced again? Yep. Here comes the all-seeing eye. But the funny thing is, we don't actually care. That much. Because I think at this juncture... we can just click for credits and probably be able to beat them. Like they're gonna run out of cards before they can score. Yeah, I think in this instance they got themselves into a bad position because they focused so much on setting themselves up to do what their deck wanted to do, that they didn't bother actually, like, setting up a condition where they would actually win. Right? They did their agenda exchange super late. And now their board isn't set up enough and we're not weak enough for them to be able to score out the last agenda. Right? Because they only have one kitty scored, so this is at 4, not 5. So they need a 5-3 to win. Yeah, but that Data Raven's not going to mean shit. Okay, that's a kitty cat. I'm not going to run it. Yeah, so I'll force you to res it. To slow down your scoring plan. Bye-bye. And then just go into HQ. So that's going to be the 15 minutes. So now they're at no money. So let's go check archives. Let's see what's going on over there. Let's hit HQ, bounce out. Let's hit R&D. Let all subroutines fire. Two credits here, going down to 13. Next turn we'll hit HQ since we know that that's where the agendas are. Like there's just no way, right? Alright, let's hit HQ. Let's break. Kudos to our opponent for not conceding. They are sticking it out. I was gonna say it has to be in there. Well played. Alright. Now that I've had a palate cleanser, let's go back to the Stargate deck. Or actually, here. I want to build my own version of this. So again, the big thing that we're doing here is we're focusing our deck on trying to leverage this card, which I just can't ever quit it. So let's work on it. So I think, you know, Mad Dash is the right call. Or do we do Stargate, but we still do Lamb Surfer? I guess that's the real question, right? So we'll come back to that. Let's get some of the basics. We're gonna get the self-modifying codes in. We're gonna get diesels. We're gonna get triple clone chip. Probably gonna get 2 astrolabes, 2 Akamatsu mem chips, a leprechaun, misdirection, of course. All these must includes. Peace in our time. Stim hack. Probably at least X2. Stargate, of course. Scavenge. X3. So what if we did Lamb and Surfer instead? What if we did that? Would that be the worst thing ever? I don't know that it would be, right? Now that means we wouldn't have Mad Dash. So we'd have to have Freedom. Get the 3rd stim hack in there. We want some backup, so we'd have a Cyber Cipher. Actually, we'd probably just go straight Gordian. Because we're not... well, we definitely have Ica. And we'd probably have Cyber Cipher. What am I missing? Oh, feedback filter. Is there anything else? What am I missing, people? Probably rejig so we can do Stargate multiple times a turn. Oh yeah, we need Rizeki. Man. We probably want Hunting Grounds, so we'll get rid of a Stim Hack, get a Hunting Grounds. Because we can't use Stim Hack in conjunction with... and then we'll put like a Kadi in here. That seems fine, right? That seems like a start. This is a little bit more my speed. Because then we're kind of threatening both directions, right? That's kind of the idea here. Balder. You definitely cannot stand on the top of my computer tower. That's definitely not one that you're allowed to do. No. I don't like that you've learned that you can stand on top of my computer tower. That's okay. I think I'm gonna mull it. We have like gambles in here, right? Yeah. Whoa, Black Betty, Gamblam. Alright, what did he say? Self-modifying code. What a jerk! Good news! I don't need, where I'm going, I don't need self-modifying codes. Love those early pad tap trashes. Alright, so let's draw. Let's put this down. And let's just get some money. $15 maybe? And Geofront? I guess our biggest problem here is do we decide that we just need to give him the money? Or do we try to not give him the money? Simon is a very good kind of like meta buster deck designer, where he's been working on this soul deck for a while, and the whole kind of genesis of it is this idea of having a good sense of what runners are playing and really making the targeted marketings hurt, and kind of forcing people to utilize those cards, so that he has the money to counterattack with, you know, hard-hitting news and other things. So one of the interesting side effects that this deck has, let's draw, is that Simon thinks that we're not going to be able to meaningfully like screw with him until we're ready for Kushuk. So he's not really protecting R&D very well. Well, now he is. He's got a lot of money. But we can kind of wait. We're not in the hugest hurry, right? We can luckily do not chew on... What is your deal? Don't chew on wires either. Get out from behind there, dude. No. You have been so bad lately. Did I lose audio? Yep. There we go. No, not. I lost the ability to hear audio. The cable on my headphones is pretty short, so when I have to like reach around to like stop Balder from destroying something, usually that means that I end up pulling the wire out, which like gums up the whole works. You know what I'm saying? Abil? A Kronos. Thankfully, only one SMC was in there. So I think next turn we're gonna pull the money off of Katie Jones, put down Stargate, and kind of force him to come to us. Do you think that's a Chrysium? Goodness. You know what? It pains me, but so assuming we don't die this turn, we're in pretty good shape. And I think we're in really good shape to set up a lock once we clear this Chrysium. All right. So, could be an NGO. I think the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to see if they res the outside ice here. It isn't canceled. There's actually an organization that has put out an entirely new set, a non-profit, called Nisei. You can see their website there and their updates. Right, that's the one, the bandwidth. It's really good. All right. I also have a YouTube link there, Sakuya, that has my interviews with the various members of the Nisei board, so you can get a better sense of their ethos and approach and why they're doing what they're doing, how they're doing it. Yeah, it's been great. Yeah, it's going to be coming up in September. A year since the official cancellation. Alright, Argus. We'll keep. There's a risk that they do 15 minutes, so then we can't piece, which would be not ideal. Yeah, you also have to keep in mind that at big conventions, a lot of times the volunteers are not necessarily normal paid employees. A lot of times they are part-time staff that are coming and were like volunteered to have a free badge in return for working the demo booth, and then they basically get a crash course like the day before the convention in the hotel on the products that they should be talking about. But a lot of times, unless you're talking to like the handful of designers and people who are actually like seriously demoing the games or giving like the panel presentations, a lot of times the people who are just running the booths for various game companies are actually friends of the designer. If for smaller companies like indie companies, a lot of times it's friends or family of the designers or volunteers who were given like a crash course in their designs. So just something to kind of keep in mind. Alright, so we're going to just set up. We're going to set up a lock here. So, like, especially if you're talking about, like, a canceled product, if you're talking about, like, a con volunteer, even if they are, like a part-time employee of FFG, if they came on in the last year, FFG just doesn't talk about Netrunner at all, unless you're, like, one of the designers who remembers it. Lower-level employees aren't going to talk about it at all. Well, yeah, I mean, one of the weird things, Jessica, is that a lot of the packs, stores have them, but they can't, like, legally sell them. So sometimes they're going onto eBay you know, and so that they have like that plausible deniability. And like one of the ones in Philly, they're almost completely sold out now. They did the nice thing where they went on to eBay and put them up for like retail price, but just like through the one guy's personal eBay account, because the store isn't legally able to market or sell Android products anymore. Mwah. Baldy, you're such a sweet face. I wish you would just chill on my lap all the time instead of causing such a fuss. Yeah, I know, man. I know. You love me. Look at this. Look at this. What is your deal? Huh? More importantly, what is this garbage that is happening? Okay, so every 2 advancement tokens is a tag. So let's put this guy down. And then let's see what get... Excuse me. And then let's see what gets rezzed. Well, I can't break it, so I guess we won't. I love that they can pick their options and just fire them all at once. It really speeds up how quick JNet games are. And they're already really fast because so much is getting book kept by the computer. So yeah, we get a tag. We don't want that to get any bigger. And then we'll just click for a credit. That could have been a lot worse. We now know what this is. Once we have Lamb down, it'll be pretty okay. Or even we can put Ica on it in the short run if they try to jam something else. Balder, why are you so needy? My Balder boy as an emote. Okay. So we're getting some of the stuff we need. I'm kind of like super duper worried that that's a Chrysium on ye old HQ. We'll put it on there in case we need it. Or on R&D. So we're gonna have to check that out. I guess it could also be a Prisec, right? Based on them being on false flag and being like, oh, I'm going to do a bunch of stuff where you end up tagged. I'm almost 100% certain that this card with 2 advancements on it is an ice wall. So that it's at 3 strength. So that we have to spend 5 to break it with Lamb instead of 2. Because they're rightfully assuming that since we're on Woo, we're on Lamb, which is 100% accurate, right? But they're not challenging us at all. We're just dripping more and more money. Shaper has always been in recent memory. I've been playing this game since the very beginning of 2013. I didn't get in quite at the... Oh, it's a nebula. Okay. Is this worth dropping? Or should we just break it with this? I don't think we need to get Lamb out yet. Alright. Okay, now this is going to be weird, right? Alright, we're already up to strength. So let's break all of it. So that's an SSL. We can take the meat. And then we're just gonna click up for credits. I'd really like to have a pad kit tap. So originally, Anarch was my faction, but the play style that I played in Anarch doesn't exist. It hasn't existed for years. I played the original core set Noise in its various forms. I helped build out a lot of the early archetypes, like the Personal Workshop Noise and the Aesop's Pawn Shop Noise with Caches and Scheherazade and all of that jazz. I played that for a long time, working with Pacer and other people who were big into like trying to make noise work. And then we lost our beautiful boy. He was brutally murdered by Core 2.0. And basically right when that was announced, I stopped playing him because I didn't want to commit any more time into him. I'd spent hundreds upon hundreds of games playing him because I assumed that he would never rotate because he was in the core set. Now, from a design perspective, I do understand why Noise had to be removed from the game, because he made it so that useful viruses couldn't be printed that had powerful abilities. And he made it so that Corps had to have like 3 to 6 cycle cards back in from the trash effects, which is not good for Corp deck building and a bunch of other things. But I still miss him, and since then I've really been more focused on the Shaper style of play, since that's closer to the control style of play that I played when I played Magic when I was younger. I don't know if that makes any sense. I think the next thing that we're going to want to do, we're not going to want to do it last click, but next turn, we're going to check this R&D and see if this is a Chrysium. We'll do it first click so that if it is a Prysac, we can clear tags and all that jazz. I like having control. Shaper basically makes you pay money to be really efficient at doing what you want to do at the time that you want to do it. So if you can manage your econ or build a good econ engine, Shaper gives you a lot of control over outcomes, but its disadvantage is that it is slow. Its programs are more expensive, and the setup is clunkier, so a smart player can force you to run where you're ready, and you have to then learn how to manage your resources very effectively. Yeah, a lot of my friends are super duper into Anarch, which I 100% get. It just doesn't suit my playstyle because I don't like their breakers anymore, right? One of the main things that also went away with Noise was Parasite, and Parasite was my favorite breaker in Netrunner. You had to work really hard and lean into it super hard to make it like a primary breaker. But in Noise with Deja Vu, the card where you could take 2 viruses out of the trash and clone chips and things, you could... Oh, Red Planet Couriers. What an interesting... Oh, it's a disposable HQ. That's so cool and kind of weird. Okay, so we don't need to get rid of this at all, because once the Stargate is down, we're not going to interact with it. So now that we know that that's not like a Prysac... Well, Prysac wouldn't matter. Now that we know that that's not a Chrysium, we are just dandy. I think Anarch has a lot of the like tools, like background tools that I find really cool, because they also lean into a more control style play, but in a different way, where they're just trashing options that the Corp has by, like, if you're Freedom or if you're using Imp, trashing cards out of HQ and other centrals that you wouldn't normally be able to trash. You have Hippo and the Cutlery to be able to get rid of ice. You know, stuff like that. So there's a lot in Anarch. I just can't get around the breakers. Like, they just bother me so much. This is perfect. This is so ideal. So what we're gonna now be able to do, is we're gonna be able to go fetch Stargate with Wu's ability. Then we're going to scavenge and be able to do it again. So let's go get it. we're gonna put it on Leprechaun, obviously. Test. Oh. Let me see. All right. So let's Stargate. Alright, so we're going to turn that into barrier. We're going to drop it with Surfer. We're going to break the whole thing. And we're going to Stargate, baby. So there's a hostile. Yeah, we'll get rid of it. We'll scavenge the Stargate. And then I guess we'll just get a buck. And we're just going to keep doing that until we win. After this round, I'm going to keep streaming, but after this round, I'm going to have to hit the restroom really quick. The biggest thing that... Oh, there's the preemptive play, which is fine, because it's not an agenda that we super duper cared about anyway. So, again, we're going to do this. We're going to drop it. We're going to break it. There's the good shit. So let's go into archives to see what's over there. So that's a bailiff, which I believe is a barrier, so we're still fine. Here, I think we can actually afford to take the 2 meat damage. Actually, we need to be able to fight a punitive. Yeah, we need to be able to fight a punitive more than we need those extra 2 credits. Now we're at 6 points. We got these clone chips. What are people's favorite identities from a how that identity like interacts with the world perspective? That's something I always like to hear from people. Ooh. Are they gonna do the whole thing in one turn? That would be so cool. Alright, they're gonna say this is gonna be a 3-pointer next turn. It's really kind of like a wraparound, like a really long-winded thing, but it's super cool that they're using dedication ceremony probably for one of the purposes that the designers intended, right? What is priority construction? All right, that's the one. Well, we definitely don't want them to have that Kakugo, so that's got to go. So I think we just let them have that, right? I don't think there's much to be gained from us, like, breaking ourselves trying to get in there. We're just gonna keep our eyes on the prize. Yeah, they earned that, right? Because using the dedications there is a workaround. Oh, and they're gonna give us a shuffle. Perfect. That's it. That's game. Not having the mad dashes does feel pretty bad. Oh, I wanted to tell them how cool the false flag thing was. Oh well. Because I really do think that's a cool idea. Because saying this will be a 5-3, it's kind of like casting call, but when the runner trashes it, there's no positive for them, right? That's really neat. Anyway, I will be right back. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. Give me about maybe 5 minutes. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, let's get a corp game in. I should probably be practicing both sides. Wow, okay. Wow, this is gonna be a game. Let's do it. This is just like a go fast rush Polana with traps. Oh, looks like we got disconnected. Gonna lose our background. I can't wait to see what wonders we're gonna discover. I've been looking through the art for Cyberpunk 2077 to try to find like some new backgrounds for the stream, and like, man, all this art. Gosh, okay. I guess we're just gonna keep getting disconnected. All the art is like super cringy and not something that I would use as my backgrounds. Did it crash? Let me check the JNet log. Alright, so they did get an agenda there. Let's put that on R&D. Oh my gosh, okay. Not cringy as in badly drawn. They have enough money to do things well. It's that it's all like hot bebs in like one piece like unitard and like leotard things with like gun arms and like motorcycle girls and stuff like that. Yeah, it's all super fan servicey. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy a good piece of like hot person art, but there's a time and a place for it, and like it being like the entire marketing strategy of your game just really belies like that your target demographic is like teenagers and like the people who are looking for like the sex and violence. Like cyberpunk simulation. This is wild how long this is taking to load. Yeah, it looks like we're not the only ones having a problem here. Alright, this might be a situation where this might be the end here. Just because it looks like JDET's probably going to need a reset, so if we jump into a game, we're going to have to do a reset. But, everybody, thank you for taking time out of your day to come play some Netrunner and hang out. And if you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is by subscribing on Twitch. If you have Amazon Prime, you can do that at no cost to you. And that's just by following that easy button right up at the top right of the screen. There's also a link in the show notes on YouTube, which is probably the best way to support me and keep me doing these daily streams of Netrunner. Until I see all of you beautiful Netrunner humans again, always be running.